Let's make pierogies. Groove, I'm gonna ask that you walk away. Well, because I don't want you out right now. I don't, because Mommy's making pierogies. Okay, but didn't you stay out a little too late last night? All right, here we go. So, let's make pierogi. So, I've got it basically down almost to, I've got it where you could go. So far, we got Groove at the door. I got a pan with some butter. Groove's at the door. These pans are really nice, by the way. These pans, these pans here, this comes on and off. I actually thought I invented this, so, yeah. Also, what I did, it's not too bad. I always forget because I take the handle off. I said no. I'm sorry. I'm not really sorry. I guess I shouldn't say I'm sorry. It's really kind of condescending. I shouldn't say that. I don't mean that. What it means, I don't care, walk away. Is that better? I mean, like, I said it like, what, 5 times already? That's what I mean. What do you mean? Because that's what I mean. Alright, what am I doing over here with my face? Okay, so. Let me show you how easy this is to make this here dough. This here dough. I'll show you real quick what it looks like. This is water and butter. That is it. Water and butter. Okay? And the trick with something like this is because this is like a Teflon situation, you gotta use a rubber, but you know, just mix it up. I boil the water because I like to boil the water like 5 minutes, get impurities out of it, and then all I add, I don't even measure it. I just kind of eyeball it. And I'm guessing this is like probably like 3 cups of water and about a stick of butter, so there's that. And then I'm just going to show you real quick. Nothing in here. Once again, I'm just going to pour whatever the hell I want in here. This is going to be the dough. I've already made mashed potatoes. The mashed potatoes I made with like a little sour cream, a little butter. It's going to be my dough. Our dough. It's our dough. And, you know, there's that. I don't need to make that much. I could always make more. I don't need to use all the water. I could save the water if I want to, which I do. I do save almost everything. Everything can be reused or used more than you think you're using it. So, my daughter wants me to talk about Dirtbag today. My crazy second husband of 2 months. He is so insane. And put a little salt up in here, just this. Not even that much, just like, you know, blah. Not that much. Don't worry about it. You can even take like, when you do your mashed potatoes, this is also something I like to do. Save the water. When you make mashed potatoes, you see down there, there's starch that stays on the bottom. You're going to want that starch one day. I don't want it right now myself, but it's usable if I wanted to use it instead. If I wanted to use the starch water and add a little butter and make my dough that way, that wouldn't be bad, but there's no starch already. Okay. So then, when you learn anything in classical French stuff, it's called mise en place, which means that everything's in place. So, for example, I've got out, it doesn't look perfect, but I've got like some mashed potatoes over here. I've got onions. I'm going to cut those up, put them in butter. I got sour cream right here because I'm going to put just a dollop in this flour before I add the butter water. And then I've got this here cottage cheese. So I'll show you how to make cottage cheese and pierogies as well as potato pierogies. No problem. Okay, like I said, I want to put a dollop in there. If you add a little dollop of stuff like bread, a little dollop of sour cream, or stuff like bread, dough. This here dough. Hey, oh, with this here dough. Man, this hat is hot as a mother bitch. This hat is too hot, y'all. Y'all's is. Madonna. So this thing, this crazy shit, look, you gotta watch some of this. In fact, I would say just add a little water. So every time I turn on the kitchen, the shit goes ape shit, like all over the place. So I'm just pouring it a little bit. I did not measure it, as you see. And you're gonna watch me blow this flour all over my face. So keep a sharp eye. These are those other crap. These are clean dishes and my tea that I drink every day. I fill up a whole thing full of tea, a carafe. Alright. I'll let this go for a second. See how it absorbs the water? See what happens. Like I said, you don't need to use all that water. You don't need to use it all. But don't waste it because it is purified. See how that shit just happened? I want to do a little whiskey woo. Just a little bit. There we go. It's coming together. And it's done. It's done. Let's see. Want a little rubbery? I'm going to add just a splash more flour. Just a splash. Let me take all this flipping hacks. That's how I can't take it. Alright. See this? It's like a little sticky. It's not like spreadable. You want to like that little bit more dough, a little bit more flour, just a smack. Just a little smack roll, as the kids say. And I don't know, you wash your hands and all this shit before you get started, so don't even worry about that. Let's let this roll real quick. Alright. Now, I'm gonna take, see, it gets so doggone hot. I gotta turn this on. I got to, mister! Alright. And my little cutting board. I'm just gonna take some of this here plastic wrap. It doesn't have to be anything special. Really does not matter what brand it is. Alright. Okay. See how that is? Kind of stays together on its own, doing its own thing. See how that came out? It's I see how I could kind of push it together just ever so softly. It's nice and soft, okay? See how I touch it? Kind of stays there, right? Okay? So let me roll this up a little smackle here. Smackerel. I had a crazy neighbor who always said smackerel. She drove me fucking crazy. Well, she was a crazy neighbor, I guess, so. Damn it all. Alright, there we go. Alright. So I could just knead it into a baby ball here. You can make as much as you want. Like, for example, like I said, there's still this much water left. I'm going to save it. I'm going to put it in something to save it. If I want to make more dough, I'll make more dough. It's you know, even this dough, you want it to sit for like a half an hour, but at least, okay? Because it'll be easier to work with. Just remember, it's made with sour cream and butter, so it's going to firm up a little bit. Make it a little easier to work with. Just seal it up. Okay, throw it in first. Alright, now. The, God got it all. Oh, she's what? Okay. It's for my face. I promise you I won't forget. I have this on my shoulder. I always do. Alright, this is that. You don't have that. Alright, so this is, now I'm going to cut up some onions here. Normally, like, you know. Normally, if I cut up onions, I'll save the skin sometimes, you know. Because also with that starch water, you could make a nice soup with that starch water too. Okay. Alright, so what do I got cooking here? I got butter in there. This guy. Put that in there. And it's over there. Turn this on medium high. Alright, you there? Okay. So, I met Dirtbag in a funny way, actually, because he, when I moved into the housing this place, as, he wasn't there when I moved in. And then one day he just showed up. And, he was weird. It kind of like, is this guy gonna rob me? The white, crazy-ass hillbilly with the tattoos all over his hands. Like, all over his hands, like, on his fingers, and his fingers will say, like, they'll have his birth date, or they'll have, like, a cross, or they'll have, like, something stupid. Something stupid. Anyway, so he'd be like, well, it's really hard to nail down your schedule. It seems like you leave at different times of the day. Yeah, I do leave at different times of the day because of people like you. That's why I leave at different times of the day. He's like, you want to go out? And I was like, no, I do not. Because he had just told me he cheated on his girlfriend that he lives with, that has a 4-year-old with, and I was like, no. Well, I was like, you know, single mom, going to PTA meetings all the time. I'm always with my ex-husband and stuff, but he has a real nice girlfriend. I always feel like an asshole, you know. And I always never, I didn't really feel like anybody was on my side very often. I put out like a cat dish or something, like a little water outside, and like I said, we were like the only white kids in the neighborhood, but it turns out we weren't, because his sister lived next door. Now she had children that, she's white, but her children are half black, all 3 or 4 of them. I don't even know how many fucking kids. Of course, nobody's hanging around, so who the hell knows? So her brother came to live with her, and that's Dirtbag. So I guess he was out one day and saw these kids pick up the saucer and whip it at the house. It's just shattered into like 1,000 pieces. Because he'd stand outside waiting. He'd stand outside smoking a cigarette, so, you know, he just had like that kind of time, because it's not, yeah. So then, he made the kids go pick it up. He made the kids, he bitched and scared the shit out of them. She was a little scary looking anyway. And then he made the kids go pick up the pieces. And then he told me about it, and I was like, and then I still said no. And then something else come up, and he just talked me into it. Talked me into it, damn it. He decided to come with me and my children to go meet my mom and my brother and his family. And my daughter said something to the likes of, first of all, I never had slept with him yet, because I told him I wouldn't. First of all, his nickname's Dirtbag. Second of all, yeah, STDs, okay? Like, no. And I was like, I'd have to be married or something like that. I thought that's good enough. That'll shut him up. Hey, you. No, I'm not letting you out. So my daughter said something to the likes of, Mommy's going to marry Dirtbag. And my mom goes, what? Yeah, she's insane. And he goes, what's wrong with that? Why wouldn't anybody want to marry her? Is there something wrong with her? You saying something's wrong with her? Is that what you're saying? You know, all that shit. Well, if I let you out, you're just like not going to come back in, no. If I fell now to what I said for an hour, what good would it do anybody? You know, this groove guy. Anyway, so I ended up, I liked it that he stood up for me, and we got married on Halloween in a cemetery. He was Superman and I was Wonder Woman, and all of our kids got dressed up. He had 4 kids, have partial custody with 3. On the other one, I didn't find out about till later. So, well, I didn't find out he didn't have custody or anything like that till later. But within like 2 months, everything went downhill. Right, Groove? How much time have we got? 16 minutes. 1 minute. Okay, so anyway, I'm gonna lose track. Hi, mine. So we got married, and I was actually the room on that day. It was really nice, and I had a nice day. But I want to do some more of these actually. Now that I'm looking at it, I didn't realize I had more. So as the room mom went and got married, and then my kids went with their dad, and then we went to Burger King and got a shitty order and had to return it, and then he got on Facebook and I was married. Very different from the first wedding. I didn't even invite one person other than my children and Groove. 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 So, like, I had to trade in my car. I traded in my car, got 2 cars. Things weren't going great. Let's just put it like that. He would lose his temper. We'd have to leave the house. I'd have to throw all the kids in the car, all of them, mine and his, and leave because he'd be an asshole about something. One time he was sleeping. He took a nap during dinner, and I let him sleep because he was so awful. And I was like, to all the kids. And then he woke up and he threw his bowl because he said that he doesn't deserve microwave food. So he threw his bowl for like 12 feet. Maybe further than that. I'll go with 15 tops. 15 tops. Groove says 15. So I had to take an esthetician's license test, managing esthetician's test in Columbus. He came with me. We had like no money. He had come home like 2 days before with like a holographic type of DVD Spider-Man set. It's like $120. Then he bounced two accounts on beers and cigarettes, which I got none of. So that's awesome too. But so we're driving. We're coming back from that place, and I passed my test, and we get in the car, and he shows me this stupid like magic flower thing, and he goes, "Here you go." So it was like around Valentine's Day. I was like, "What the? How'd you get this?" And he goes, "What? You can't even fucking say thank you?" I go, "How'd you get it?" And he goes, "I fucking took it." Are you stole this? Are you fucking insane? So we're driving. He's telling me how he deserves the finer things, of course. He had just quit his job and did not tell me. I get a phone call from a freaking car place, they're like, we're recalling both of your loans. Your car has been scrapped. You can't get it back. You got to return both of your cars. Man, he just like, I'm driving because he had, you know, he's useless. And I just hear this, and it was like all of a sudden my arms like, I could feel the gas just going, and I'm having like a seizure, like a breakdown, like a mental break, legit. I'm having a mental break, and I'm like, oh my fuckery! I go like this to like yak out the window, and the fucking window's up, so I hit my head real good and hard. I say, you know, fuck this shit. I can't fucking stand you. We gotta put you in the mental home like we do. You need to go on medication. You need to go on Social Security. You're schizophrenic. There's something fucking wrong. He is schizophrenic too. He knew he was schizophrenic. So I took him to the hospital, stayed with him like 13 hours, 11 hours, some shit like that, and got him in there. I think he was on hold for like 3 days or so before I could actually see him, like 2 or 3 days. And then I did go and I see him, and it wasn't even lunch or anything like that yet. And he introduced me to one of the people there, this nice girl. He introduced me to her, and he introduced me to some people. And the next day I go there and I came up behind them. They let me go in to the, I'm turning off these onions. These are sauteed. This is just so I can stick. I'm going to use some for the cottage cheese mix. I can put some in the potatoes. I'm not. But you can. You could also put cheese in the potatoes. Like, not that cheese, but like a smooth cheese. Like, shredded cheese. Anyway, I got to put this way. So, I go up behind him, and he was like, at the buffet or something, and the man said, what can I get you? It's Dirtbag, and Dirtbag goes, and I go, your wife would like you to get the green beans. And he didn't even look up, and he goes, my wife could go fuck herself. So I'm at home after a nice visit, and I get a couple phone calls on his line because I had his phone. He couldn't have his own phone, you know. I had his phone. You know who it was? It was the girl. They had sex. They had sex in the crazy house. He cheated on me in the crazy house with this girl. After I just lost, within 2 months, I lost like respect for my children. I lost my fucking car. I had a nice car before that I traded in for him, for us, for his kids, half of which he doesn't even fucking have custody of. And then he cheats on me in a crazy house. I'll cut it there with that story because I'm gonna let this here, I'm gonna let the dough. I can't put that there. I'm gonna let the dough cool, and the dough's dolce. The dough is cooling. Okay, but before we do that, I'm gonna show you what to do with this cottage cheese. Now remember, we just sauteed these onions, and they're not brown, they're not golden. Don't do that. Just leave them the way they are. I want to show you what to do with this. All right. You're gonna want to colander like this. Okay? You see how the holes are. They're not too big. Now, if I had something like this, which I will eventually, I start with this. Because what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this, dump it in this, and then rinse it with water. I'm going to rinse till all the white, milky chocolate or whatever is in here. Not chocolate. It's not chocolate. It's whatever the milkiness is gonzos. Once I do that, I'll let you know. So I'm going to do that right now. See, look at that asshole though, seriously. My daughter wanted me to tell that story because she just can't believe it. We can't believe it every time we think about, just all of it. And he was a felon. He's like a 4-time felon. Oh, I also want to say, like, man, I had to go off of, and calm the fuck down, this water. I had to go off of Facebook Messenger because I just, you know, I don't know, man. First of all, I don't translate well at all. And then there was one guy, he asked me out. I said, you know, you never know what you're going to get. I attract all kinds. I'm not saying anything bad about this guy at all. But he's like me from like 7 years ago, but a little different. First he asked me out. And I'm like, no, thank you. Then he asked me out the next day, and I just was like, yeah. And then he just kept going on and on and on and on and on. I go, okay. I go, okay. So you wanna meet or something? And he goes, yeah. I said I need to place a Borman because I live in Struthers. I need to place a Borman. Like 20 minutes later, after all these quick, rapid. Do you have a car? Is the question. So I put LOL. You don't have a car and I don't have money. Look at us. And he put, LOL, I don't really have money either. And then a couple minutes later comes, I've got a nice big dick. And then it's like, wow. And then it turns out he lives in a room that he pays for. Now, I paid for a room, the same room, but actually $150 more than he's doing right now. And he's drinking it during the day. I haven't dated anybody in like 15 years. I've been celibate for like forever. Like years and years and years. I don't even know how long. I sure as hell don't want to get mixed up with somebody with a big dick right now. For one thing, I cannot. And then I cannot date anybody who drinks. And I'm not dating anybody anyway. Even when I try to be slick, like there was this one guy, really cute. I call him a fox, so I think that's hot. I think like you're a fox, like you're cute, like you're sexy as fuck, you're a fox, you know. And he says something like, that's a rat. And I started thinking about foxes, and you know, foxes smell like pee, kind of like, because I used to take my kids to the dinosaur museum, and I'd be like, this fox smells like, oh, save this, by the way, save your container. I'd be like, these smell like pee. And then I was like, he said something about wrestling, and then I insulted him on that too, because I was thinking of Adam Sandler and how funny Adam Sandler is, and I just blew it, the whole thing. So I just went off of Instagram, fucking them over. Dunzos, I can't do it no more, skis. So I just take the container and I just keep rinsing over. Rinse over your cottage cheese. I saved the container because since it's just me nowadays, there's nobody else here. It's just me, damn it. So, since nobody else is here, I don't make that much at one time. I used to make food for everybody. I cooked for my ex-husband until I left town. I cooked for my ex-husband, and I cooked for his family, too. So if I ever made anything or cooked something, I always brought them something, especially guamkis. Those are cabbage rolls. My outlaw, she was Polish, and man, she really had a thing for those, and she'd roll them all day long, you know. All right, what am I looking for? Okay. Let's just say we'll use this bowl here. Yeah. I've never seen these so uniform. Alright. So we got this. Okay. You're going to take some of these onions. Toss these onions and butter in there. I'm going to take some sugar. Pour some sugar in there. Pour some sugar on me. You really love love. Alright. And you're going to need an egg. Eventually, you're going to need an egg. So I could actually use this container if I want. Which I do. So I'm going to save the egg white because I'm going to need that to seal up the old, Put the egg yolk in there. Because you're gonna need some egg wash. They call it egg washes. A cracked egg, the insides of the egg, and some water. That's all. Now, you're gonna want to taste test that. You know, people made a big deal about raw eggs when we were kids. It's not the case anymore. Just take this and stick it in the French oven. Seriously. Where's the lid? There it is. Okay. All right. So far, you got mashed potatoes. You got your cottage cheese mixed. You got your onions and butter. You got your dough in the fridge. It's all coming together. Yeah. Me using this, don't do that. Like, if you're out at a restaurant, obviously you don't do that. I'm at home, I don't give one shit. That's mine, this is mine, this is all mine, nobody else is eating it. If anybody else was eating it, if I was going to take it someplace or like give it to anybody, I wouldn't do that. So you just kind of mix this all up. Put more sugar in. I like mine sweet, like my cottage cheese mixture real sweet. Well, you're sweet. Mama love you. Oh my goodness. Groove. Groovers. Well, alright. I'll see you in a little bit. I will catch you back up. I want to throw this shit in the fridge while I'm letting that cool. When we come back, we'll be rolling out some dough and making some pierogi. All right. See you soon.